negative mindset and how do we change it? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Hey guys, what's happening? It's Meshi with Aligned Soul. I'm so glad that you came by. So today we're going to be talking about having a negative mindset and then how do we actually shift that. I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 tips that have been proven effective in my life, and hopefully you can find a way to kind of apply that to your life as well. And if you have no idea who I am, my name is Meshi. I'm a certified meditation teacher, an intuitive healer, and a guide. And I'm really here to teach you all about how we can use spiritual practices in a really practical and tangible way that actually improves your life. So if that sounds good, maybe consider subscribing if you have not yet already. We chat at least a couple of times here on this channel and we dive into anything and everything spirituality. Okay, let's move right into the first little tidbit. Let's talk about first what is a negative mindset. You might have heard this, or like a low vibrational way of being. What does that really mean? Each thought and each thing that you think of, each experience has a vibrational frequency. Whenever you're thinking about things that really feel expansive or really feel uplifting, those are considered higher vibrational thoughts. Whereas when you're thinking of something that feels really restrictive, something that kind of brings you down, something that is very fear-based, usually have a lower vibrational frequency. And the reason why I bring this up, and I will probably pop a chart right here, right next to me, so that you can kind of understand each emotion has a certain frequency that it emits. So the more often that you think those types of thoughts, or you think, or if you feel those emotions, or you have those experiences, and therefore you have that emotional response, that emits a certain emotional frequency. So when we're trying to shift that, we need to first understand where we're vibrating at, and then become aware of it, which is actually my first tip. The number one way that you can shift a negative mindset is to become aware of it. Becoming aware of something does not mean that you have to label it, and it does not mean that you have to judge it. It just means that you actually take notice. It's very simple. You just need to bring awareness or notice that you're feeling a certain way, and perhaps have a desire to feel a different way. You want to shift out of that. And that is really the first step to kind of shifting out of that, is by bringing awareness to it. Because you can't shift out of something that you don't want to even acknowledge that you're feeling. Now, my second tip for you, look at it from a sense of curiosity and inquire as to why you might be feeling a certain way. It could be a response to someone in your life or an experience that you've had, but it could be that you might be responding because that event or that person is reminding you of an experience that you've already had in the past, and you never quite dealt with that. So you kind of want to become clear of, is it a form of shadow work that we need to work with? Is it going to be inner child work that we need to work with? Or is it going to be a limiting belief? And each of them have its own category. And if you guys want, in my next video, we can kind of go into more into detail of how we can work with each, how we can kind of bring awareness to it and work with it consciously so that it actually can heal. But for today, what you want to do is really just to bring awareness to it and figure out which one is it. And one of the best ways that you can do that is by journaling. Journaling is a really fantastic way to not only to give your subconscious a voice, but to really put on paper exactly how you're feeling, to give you that space to really process your emotion, to process exactly how you're feeling, completely unfiltered, which is one of the reasons why I actually really love journaling, because it gives you full-blown opportunity to just put everything on paper of what is really going on within your mind. And once you've done that, then you're going to be taking different routes, whether it's shadow work, whether it's an inner child healing, or if it's going to be a limiting belief. So like I said, like in the next video, if you guys are interested, comment below and let me know if you would like to see that video, because I would love to kind of dive deeper into each of them and kind of dissect it and give you guys some tangible tips. But for now, bringing awareness to it and really writing about it and giving yourself that freedom to really dive deeper is enough. Number 3 is very simple. It's very easy, it's very accessible, and most of us don't do it often, and that's to move your body. Moving your body really allows you to move stagnant energy through the body and allowing it to move through rather than getting it stuck in each of the areas. Now, depending on the emotion that you're feeling and depending on what this negative mindset really brought up for you, sometimes we can shift from this negative mindset or this negative state of being by simply giving ourselves the opportunity to really move. So that could be a walk, that could be being in nature, that could be exercise for 20 minutes, that could be your yoga class, that could be any number of things. As long as your body is moving, your heart rate kind of increases a little bit, then you will be able to feel the benefits. And you can also see and do a quick little check-in of, was that enough activity for me to change my state? Because generally, sometimes that actually becomes enough. So sometimes we're feeling really down, or we're feeling really depressed or really stagnant when the energy is stagnant. So being aware of that, it's just simply like the best way that you can kind of find out is if you actually move your body and see how you feel afterwards. So these are my top 3 tips of moving energy and potentially shifting out of a negative mindset. Obviously, we're just basically scratching the surface here. So in some of my next videos, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that. But question of the day, comment below and let me know, what was one tip that has worked for you in the past when you had this negative belief system, this negative mindset? What was one thing that helped you kind of shift out of that? Comment below, let me know. And of course, if you are brand new here, consider subscribing to the channel if you have not yet already. Keep shining your light, and thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.